What's up guys, this is Shannon. Today we're gonna review Union Suites in Bandar Sunway. Let's go! Seven years later, we are back here in a project that we visited when it was under construction. Yeah, so that was the sales gallery. I still remember. The entrance is still pretty much the same. The traffic just got worse when it comes from LDP, right? So this is going to be a future plot of land that is going to be the development, because this is actually prime land, and that will be Lagoon Perdana, where a lot of workers around the area stays. Then this is the traffic situation lah, just like usual, but it kind of got worse after the completion of this building, because this has turned into a very popular lodging area for the students that studies around here. So one of the main selling points that stands out will be Bandar Sunway and the universities in abundance. Walking distance here, students can actually walk into Taylor's University, the Lakeside campus. So you can actually walk into Geo, that connects you to a BRT that brings you to Monash. You also have Sunway University nearby. So those are just the close one. There's still so many more, right? However, there are a lot of blocks, and there are one new one coming up. And right opposite the building, this will be the row of shop lots for convenience purposes. However, you can see it's very busy. Cars are parked everywhere along the roadside. So although the infrastructure are done really well, where you can see trees, the dividers, the road width is actually 4 lanes, 3 lane here, 4 lane there, but Malaysians like very narrow roads, I don't know. Then the facade looks amazing, where you have all the facing bricks arranged in a certain manner, right? A huge fan, and let's go. So the first thing when we come in, we observe that a lot of students are actually just taking the Grab, because the old sales gallery right in front is actually a very nice layover, so people just sit the Grab there like non-stop. Then you can see really the entire age group of folks around here, right? It's all students, solid, but the cars here are even more solid. Coming out, we are now in the lift lobby, but before that, right, when we look into the entrance lobby, so busy, so many people just coming out, all going to their class lah, right, respective class, but it's like noon. Well, who am I to judge? But another observation will be the amount of delivery packages, right? Wow, it's insane. You need the separate buckle all together to contain all of them. Anyway, now the lobby looks a little bit angular, and the ceiling height is 2.6, the narrow end is 2.7, and the wider end is about 4.4, covered in tiles. And here the window scale is very generous, therefore when you look out, you have an adjacent building. So we are not in a higher floor, so it's fine, but for those in the lower floor, they will be affected. But anyway, this will be the Casas Highway already, and looking at it, that is IOI Mall. Right opposite, this is USJ1. Don't know whether will they link or not, don't know, but then there's another brand new development coming up there. Then in terms of surface treatment, they are using Venetian plaster, so it gives you that kind of atas feel to it, right? Also, they are very consistent with their architectural language. This was a time when rawness, right? I think raw approach was the thing, like brick walls, steel finish, concrete finishes, right? Corrugated steel panels like this, all seems to be the younger vibe thing, so it's all applied here. Then in one floor, as you can see, there will be 4 passenger lift plus 1 service lift, servicing 19 units in total. And there's a rather big difference between the units. So like you can see, some are really small, but yet some you will have this ultra dual key kind of setting. And it's actually split in the center, so you will have half of the units on one side, 8 in a double loaded corridor kind of setting. Anyway, from the corridor going in, this will be the refuse room. Okay, so this is where people dispose their refuse. Like that, but at least it's clean, no smell. Full height wall tiles, proper ventilation. Cool. Then going into the corridor, It's actually separated by a fire partition door, and this will be the filling lah. So the width of the corridor here is 2.04. The ceiling height is still 2.7 meters. Very spacious actually. So you look into the corridor space, it's actually a very luxurious spec for today's building. And throughout the corridor, you will also have voids like this, and they are spray painted. The parapet walls are slanted so water falls through, and you still have drains at the corridor. These are very nice, and you have tiled flooring, so it will be very convenient for washing. It is also tiled skirtings, easy to mop also. And this is one very exciting observation, right? So this is the property management company, where they actually collaborate with property owners in renting out their units, mainly focusing on students within this area. At the end then, we are in this setting where there's two voids, so it means this unit will have a very nice facade coverage, because you got 3 sides of facade, right? It's going to be so good. And here looking out, then there will be Lagoon Perdana already, so opposite that will be Taylor's Lakeside campus already. Anyway, this will be the unit that we're going to check out today. The narrow end of the foyer is 1.15 meters, but the entire entrance here makes it rather welcoming. So here you can actually do some treatments in building up a cabinet, but weird why they didn't do. But anyway, there's a level coming up, and let's check out the unit. So this will be the unit that we're going to check out today. This is type D, a duplex, 1309 square feet, and there's 2 floors. As I mentioned, it's a duplex. So this is the lower floor. When you come in, this is the foyer. Then you will have the pantry at the side, the living room straight away. Then you will have a small little foyer that connects you to the first room, that also has connection to the washroom, and there will be an aircon latch already. I think this is the yard. You can go check it out later. Okay, then going upstairs via the stairs, there will be a void here, so there will be a double height window here. It's going to look so good. Upstairs then, this is also served as a secondary entrance, or in other words, it's a fire escape lah. So here they will have room 2, room 3 and room 4. So there is no particular room that is the designated master room. I think the only one will be the one at the bottom that has direct connection. Interesting. I think this is like designed to actually let out room by room. Let's go check it out. Okay, coming into the unit, the clearance of the door is 970 mm. So this is a 2.4 meters height door. It's supposed to feel better, but because this is a duplex, I don't like this format lah. So like once you come in, right, you are right underneath the flight of stairs. So you will have these stairs right in front of you every time you come into the house. Yes, this looks amazing, right? This will be the pantry or the kitchen, dining, then living. This would be the flight of stairs going upstairs. If this were for my own stay, right, I would really like seal this up to kind of make it more presentable, because this doesn't feel good at all. But luckily for the double ceiling design, right, this looks very nice. So every time when we talk about duplexes, the crucial thing that affects the experience the most will be the interfloor ceiling height. So this is about 2.6 meters. Therefore, it's still very comfortable, very functional. But what's great is the length from wall to wall here is about 3.65 meters. Just for your kitchen alone. Right, they call it a pantry in their floor plan, but this is bigger than the kitchen in my house lah. And what I like, they designate out a space purposely for the fridge, and this will be the basin, all your hood and hob here. These are furnished by the makeover guys, therefore you can see this does not come with a unit, but I think the backsplash is. So they kind of use this mosaic level kind of backsplash, which gives a very good vibe to it, so I like it. And this has a window that connects to it, so let's try to open it. Yeah, so this will be to the corridor just now. And what a wonderful extra facade to the unit. And moving on, this will be the living room. And as we observed just now, this area is really heavy on student population. A lot of people are just renting rooms here to an extent where they are professional property management companies that focuses on doing that alone, due to the proximity to Sunway University, Monash University, ENT University, Taylor's University, and their designated transportations to fetch a student all around when they don't drive their sports car. Therefore, the temporary need of space here is very high. Therefore, the rental rates are also very high. Besides that, a lot of people are actually working in proximity and they are also renting in this location. But sooner or later, they will move out when you really cannot match the energy of the young people, right? So, this unit, right, is going for 9,000 ringgit per month. 2 floors altogether. And the owner bought this unit for about 2 million ringgit. Directly from the developer or not, I'm not too sure. But the approach is just different. So like instead of just having a TV, right, they kind of put this working table here to kind of give it a different vibe altogether. And the view outside is nice. So that will be Bandar Sunway already, and which is the biggest bonus for being located in this location. Look at the difference in infrastructure and landscape treatments, right? All are paved. You see, once you come into Bandar Sunway, all are paved to give you that luxurious feeling. Also, whenever there are maintenance work for the roads, they can be taken out and installed back after the rectification work. So you won't have roads that is patch after patch after patch after patch, okay? And look into the landscape treatments, amazingly lush, not like the one adjacent to it. You can immediately see the difference in treatment. Then also the connectivity that the township focuses on. So here, if you were to just walk over, this will be Sunway Geo connected to Sunway Medical Center, Sanctuary, and that will be Menara Sunway and Sunway Pyramid, Lagoon Hotel, the whole township all together. And the owners who bought this initially during the lockdown, tada! I just couldn't understand why this land was left out from the deal. It's like you get to buy from a developer next to a massive township developer. Of course, you will be beneficial to it, For flooring treatments, they are providing this 600 by 600 textured tiles where it's not glossy, it's not so slippery. I like it. And it comes with the skirting as well. Nice. And this will be the access to the ground floor bedroom So the size of the room is 3.1 by 3.7 in length. Technically, this is the master bed because this is the only one with that ensuite connection to the bathroom. But the entire design somewhat allows or encourages rooms to be occupied individually. So like this one, even the design, right, you can see there's 2 single bed here instead of 1 master bed. It's even reflected in the ID. And what a weird center window like this. It's always more to the side or a longer one. I don't know. And there's also a separate lock system. So at this stage then it's very obvious already. But what I'm surprised on is they provide solid wood flooring. So this is rare nowadays. This will be the location of the wardrobe. And a huge box up for a fire sprinkler system. And this will be the connection to the bathroom already. So this actually shares connection to the public as well. So this is a shared one, not an exclusive one. So here you will have your feature wall that is attached to your basin and a mirror. You will have a frosted window that you cannot open, you can only open the top one. So that will give you somewhat ventilation. It also comes with this vanity top, full height wall tiles, another extra window here. So you see the luxury of the corner unit. You have 2 windows, and this is by Johnson Swiss. It comes with a shower screen and a rain shower. Wow, so atas one. Anyway, this will be the separate entrance. Just in case if you have guests in the house, right, they will be sharing the same bathroom Okay, and this will be the connection into the yard. So this is 1 meter by 730 mm. So just nice, you can fit in a washer or dryer. It depends on which kind of format you want. I think the opposite one, they kind of put in the 2-in-1. But nevertheless, they also provide the protection for the socket. Yeah, just a bit wasted because this is also part of the facade of the unit, but they use it for the yard only. But they also include the aircon latch on this side. So look at the opposite one, it's going to be the mirror one. Yeah, so you have this massive aircon latch. Yeah, you also got utilize the facade for these different reasons. So Okay, going upstairs, you will have the similar treatment of the solid timber floorings. That's nice. You will have a steel and glass railing. Wow, this one feels very atas, especially when you have this double volume ceiling height. Woo. Going up, the width of the staircase is 1.06 meters. This color was hot again during that time, but what's cool is when you look back, this is both nice and scary lah. Scary in the sense, how are you going to maintain that? So, in one perspective, it's you will have this wow, amazing space when you have the daylight coming in, a lot of ventilation, good. Concerns will be how to full up the whole curtain like that. A custom made curtain is going to cost more than the entire makeover combined. Then maintenance, how are you going to wash that, right? Especially the ceiling height around this area. Ayo, the light too bright. Like all these angles, right? How do you clean all this? Yes, it looks amazing, but the maintenance work is concerning me lah. But anyway, coming back, this will be the upper floor. And this is the secondary entrance from the floor above, since this is a duplex, okay? So users of the house can actually have like a dual entrance kind of thing where they can access from this one or the ground floor one. But from the building design point of view, this also serves as a fire escape lah. The not so good part then, this is somewhat like a waste of space. Like you have two entrances, then you will have two foyers. Foyers are just unoccupied corridor spaces, you see? I don't know. So coming in from the second entrance, this will be the filling. I do enjoy the glass railing, and this will be the corridor into the remaining 3 bedrooms. Another thing I like will be the width of the corridor. This is 1.2 meters, and I enjoy the width of their corridor spaces, like all their circulation spaces, like the staircase, the common corridor, the corridor at home, all very spacious. This height as well for the upper floor is 3 meters. Wow. That's why this is one of those duplexes where you don't feel as claustrophobic. Besides the entrance, everything else okay. Going in, this will be the first bedroom, and I like that they also leverage on the double volume area, so you can open up this one, so you can also hear what's going on within the unit lah. So the size of the room is 2.3 by 2.6, and because their persona is actually students, right? So they just position a single bed here because you still need to accommodate the study table and the wardrobe space. Okay, so there will be still circulation space in case he wants to work out or do whatever things lah. So this is like the walnut color solid timber flooring. Another window. Wow. When I study and I got this view for my room, walao eh, this is like a luxury, man. And again, similar treatment, every room comes with a smart lock. So this will be the second room, and the size of the room is 2.3 by 3.5. So this clearly demonstrates a different strategy of property investment where it focuses on individual rooms to be let out. And the target audience can be working class around the area and students of private universities where they can really pay. No, their parents can really pay. So the needs are very, very different because ultimately it's based on affordability. And when we just look into Property Guru's website, a studio unit is about 3,000 ringgit, and a 2-bedroom one is about 4,000 a month. So technically a room is about 1,500 to 1,200. So if you just imagine like 4 bedrooms like that, 1,500 a room, then it's going to be like 6,000 because the common area is a little bit more fancy, right? And if a group of friends all together, then it would make sense. But that's the ongoing rate for the market here lah. And that results in a very high capital appreciation for the existing owners too. Because when they launched this, I think nobody expected the appreciation and the rental rates to be so healthy lah. Anyway, back to the room. This is a single bed format also, where it comes with a wardrobe as well as a desk with the window that is frosted as well. Okay, so the makeover cost for this strategy will also be higher because just look at the amount of beds to be furnished and the amount of rooms to be furnished as well. So here you will have a double single bed setting as well 2 wardrobes. And this room is slightly bigger, 3.6 by 3.1. So ample amount of space, and you just divide by the number of students, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people you can actually sleep in this unit itself. So yeah lah, 1 person 1,000 to 1,005 should be the rate lah. Plus a very comfortable kitchen, pantry, living space. One last thing, I do enjoy this approach. I think here there's no doors to begin with, where you will have a common basin and split WC and shower area. So the goal of doing this was to allow multiple person in the bathroom in the same time. So when person is doing his business, it will be covered by stained glass, so you, for transparency reasons. And then another person can actually use the shower before he rush to class. 2 person can clean up yourself at the same. So there's no partition here, but just a mere curtain. Yeah. And the good thing is this massive window here, because this is a corner unit, so you just have multiple walls with facade access. That's so good. And I guess that's all for the unit. So this strategy really is something new to the channel. We haven't really covered any student accommodation or room by room rental format kind of accommodation before. That's good. Now let's go check out the facilities. So we are now in the rooftop, and this really indicates the design language of that era lah. Like the colorful mosaic really indicates the energy that is supposed to be within the space. We also passed by the gym room, but there was people lifting, so they don't want to kacau, right? And this is somewhat the highlight of the space, where you have a temporary structure on the rooftop. It looks like it lah. So this is somewhat the sky garden area, where you have a mural. I got leaking issue. Then you will have a lounge for people to just chill at night. And you will look into the hedges. All those are pretty tall, in level with the parapet wall. So at the side here, this will be tempered glass railing, but you can see that it's actually shaky already, not very stable. And now we are within the sky garden. So the glass railings, you have glass railings that is supposed to maximize your view, but then you have these Eugenia hedges to block the view. So weird. Why? Maybe because target audience are full of energy, you might worry things will happen. And now we are in the arcade room, where just another name for the playroom, right? Inside you have the foosball, you will have the pool table with some fancy LED lighting treatments. Too bad we can't go in, don't know why, they kind of locked it. But anyway, this view would be what you can see from the garden. Like on this side, it will be Bandar Sunway, then you will have the Sunway Industrial Area, Monash University, then the USJ1, Sunway International School. Wow. So I think the view on the upper floors facing this side, right? Plus you have the lake view as well. Wow, it will be so amazing. And now we are in level 7, another level of facilities, where you can still see the very consistent architectural language from the mosaic, from the corrugated walls, also the Venetian plaster to all the structural members. So this is a play area where it's shaded, so that's great. And this is a rather extensive one that comes with a lot of sitting areas for parents. But this is a cool feature. So this is somewhat like a study area, a space within a space kind of setting. Very beautiful, right? In accordance to the design language as well. Nice, I like it. And this just matches the vibe of the overall space. So here you will have the rubber tiles, the landscape treatment. So these are the artificial turfings, hedges at the edge to kind of hide away that view. And this is the swimming pool. So you will have the outdoor furniture area for shallow area, and you have the infinity edge to a glass railing at the end. Wonderful. So here you will have islands within the pool area and boxes within the space. So this is a very strong architectural language actually. And the swimming pool is then tied to the wading pool via this sunken seating area. This is so cool whenever you have friends after assignment, right? You can just gather around or do a debrief or whatsoever. And the landscape treatments is surprisingly good. The trees are very matured, connected to the wading pool, and the water bodies are very extensive. So from the lap pool area, you will have the wading pool area, then you will have the jacuzzi and children's play area. Okay, all at the edge here. And here you have the glass railing facing over to Bandar Sunway. Now, this plot of land looks like another developable land. Don't know who's the landowner actually. But then this is the existing sales gallery last time. Who knows, this might anytime just turn into another development. What I also appreciate will be the very organic lines around the area. Not only just by solid and landscape, right? They also use different materials and they interplay within each other. So you will have foliage like this, so you can see foliage like this, foliage like this, to just extend out the usage of the space. If not, it's just a simple sitting area. But suddenly with this form, suddenly it becomes very exciting. So you can see the triangle edge, the round edge, the square edge with dynamic shapes. Wow. Match that with the landscape treatments. Canggih. And this will be the outdoor workout area. So here will be a better space to work out in my opinion. Because somewhat the gym upstairs just now doesn't feel very big, right? And this used to be the main selling point for the project before this. Also, this is one of the first one with a boxing rig in the center of the space. So this is good, but when it's under a residential title project management, then it's a bit difficult to pull off lah, in my opinion. But I do appreciate the intent, and again with all the architectural treatments and the landscape treatments. Wow, I'm such a huge fan. You see, look at it. Just by this look, right? Whoa. And this is actually the multi-purpose hall. So inside will be 2 badminton courts. That is triple volume in height. Wow. At the edge then, this will be the barbecue pits. I think one halal, one not halal, and it comes with a sitting area next to the edge. And this is a common treatment for all the ages. You will have very big buffer of landscape treatments. But I appreciate the landscape strategy also, because it just hide away the not so good looking buildings around. Because this used to be the less premium area compared to the Bandar Sunway. So here we will have all the middle class apartments. But actually these are superb value for buy. And now we are in the elevated car park. So due to space constraint, they adopt a split floor car park setting where you will have a scissors ramp 5A, 5B, 6A, 6B lah. Okay. And here you can see the structural system is actually adopting a conventional one. You will have the beams all sticking out. Then you have cement screeded floorings, epoxy lines only. And looking out, so this will be the land next to us just now lah. So the only question now is, like when you can use that road, it means this developer also owns this, right? Or this also falls under the same boundary. So does this structure here belongs to the management of this site, and what are they going to use this existing sales gallery for? That's the question. And when this is constructed, wow, then this view also gone already. It looks like it's going to happen lah. Just don't know when lah. Anyway, just some comments also. The car park layout a bit weird, where right after the ramp downwards, right, there's a missing lot there. So because of this lot alone, you need another mirror here just to guide this flare to come out from the ramp immediately. Wow, this is so weird. So what if behind got cars, right? The car behind is supposed to just brake. So dangerous, this treatment. Then also, this is one of the weirdest car park where you have a dead end. So on this area, this is supposed to be car parks on both sides, including the edge as well. This is definitely a mistake where just to come out from that lot, right, from this area is going to be such a hassle, and just to come in is also a hassle where you immediately need to turn left from the ramp itself. This is definitely a mistake. Or they was given a wrong impression from the car park requirement. Suddenly not enough car park within the plain area itself, so they just squeeze everywhere lah. this should not happen. There should not be a dead end at all. Dead end is definitely a mistake in design. Plus, because since this is a two-way road, the minimum requirements then becomes 4.5. But when it's a single-way road, you don't have to allocate such a big space one. Indirectly, you save more space. So this one is actually a mistake in design. But the good thing is the entrance to the lobby is actually very far away from the road, which is nice, and you have somewhat of an apron and ramp to ease the transportation services lah. And the back of the project, actually there's a secondary exit leh. Wow, this is surprising, where you have a secondary security room actually. But here, just to highlight, right, look into the architectural detailings of the brickworks. Wow, so refined. As an architectural fan, I absolutely adore it. But I doubt anybody actually pay attention to them, which is sad to me. But in order to reduce maintenance fees, I think they are not using this, because now you will need 2 sets of security personnel instead of 1. Anyway, we are also here to check out the futsal court that actually uses real grass. Wow, this is nice, and it really matches the entire vibe and target audience lah. Where just now in the entrance, right, wow, it's so busy with students coming in and out, walao eh. Ta-da! Right, and I guess that's all for today. Let's head on to the shops in front to check out what is there. I think I saw some speed mart, and we will eat lunch at the Mama lah. And now we are right opposite the project, so this will be a row of shops here. What we can see here: convenience store, clinics, barbers, speed mart, mama, some kopitiams, dobis and things like that. So basic needs, you can actually solve it here, but if you want anything more, you can just take a grab to Sunway Geo or Sunway Pyramid Mall, which is like walking distance away actually. Yeah. And I guess that's all for the project. It's now time for Sean's take 3 on 3. The very first thing I like, definitely the location of it, because it's adjacent to one of the most well-planned township in KL itself, Bandar Sunway. Right? So within proximity, what you will have all the amenities such as the malls, shops, schools, houses. On top of that, you will have top 3 private universities around the area: Taylor's, Monash, Sunway University. And you get that without really paying the premium of the land, because last time when this was launched, compared to the ones located within Bandar Sunway itself, this seems to be a little bit cheaper in terms of pricing, because this is closer to all the affordable housing next to it and things like that. Yeah, what a huge bargain. Without paying the premium, you get to enjoy the entire experience of a planned township. Solid. And that connects to point number 2, which is that amazing investment product this became. Because of that proximity to the township, you will have target audiences of working level people and also private university students. So this results in a high temporary demand of space for the area, and this matches that absolutely. Therefore, the rental rates here for the rooms, right, solid. Like one of our editors has one of these, right, solid returns. But for the duplex then, a whole different story, but we'll talk about that later. The last thing I like will be the architectural design treatments to the building. From the design alone, the entrance seems to be a very discreet one. I love it. Then the overall facade design of the brick walls, and you can see a lot of attention is spent on it. Like for this area here is one laid out area, for the car park area is different, and the adaptation of the raw materials back then, such as the corrugated zinc sheets, right, with the Venetian plaster to somewhat mimic that concrete finish. Then you will have facing brick treatments, and it's pretty consistent all the way to the rooftop facility, and that is great. It is such an economical way to do it, but you will have a lot of effect of it. Then for respective lift lobbies as well, you will have the mosaic treatments, wow, along with the wayfinding treatments. All those are very solid in my opinion, because we were here back then when it was launched. In terms of language, in terms of marketability elements, unique selling points, it has always been solid lah. However, for the 3 things I don't like will be the immediate adjacent road, where it's constantly double parked, filled with all the foreigners, all the working level foreigners, because if you look at the surrounding, it's all the middle cost apartments. This is where the workforce is. So during the night, this can get a little bit congested, a little bit messy. But looking at the security perimeter and measures, it's not too much of a concern lah. But the congestion is real, definitely. The road, right, although it's a 4-lane road, cars parked on both sides, it becomes a 2-way then, and still got people want to park some more. A 4-lane road becomes a 1-lane road overnight. And the weirdest thing is this, double parking cars are not the local cars, are all very expensive cars. So that's the level of the tenants here lah. What a perplexed feeling that you have here. The second thing I don't like will be the adaptation of a duplex within the product segment. It's like, based on experience, duplex has never been a great investment unit all the time. It's too much space are wasted for the experience. Therefore, in order to have a person who really lives in such a space, the cost is going to be very, very high, because it's kind of 2 units, but now you make it into 1 unit, but the selling price needs to cover 2 units price. It's not going to be so expensive, yet you will have a staircase that weighs half of the space really. So basically you're just buying experience, but in this location it's tough because you still want to do room rentals and things like that. So the duplex doesn't really work in this sense, but the rest, the studio units, the 3-bedroom, the dual keys, all work terrifically. But here also we then learn the furnishing cost for a student accommodation type of investment is also higher, because every room must be furnished to the very fundamentals. Then you will need a separate key lock for all the rooms. It's a very different approach altogether lah. And last of all, I don't think anybody will be staying here long term, but if you are, the experience is not going to be very ideal, in a sense if you need to get to KL all the time lah, because this road here is very famous for congestion. Because on weekends you got people wanting to go into Sunway Lagoon, Sunway Pyramid. Then on weekdays you will have a lot of offices, you have the universities and things like that. So the road is often very busy, very jammed. And if you are working from home, it's fine, you get to enjoy all the facilities. But if not, right, and it's also getting worse because you have a few more buildings that is coming up. Just when you thought that no more land already, right? Wow, no more land already, Bandar Sunway. Still got a lot. And I guess that's all. Do I like the project? The final project surpasses the expectation of me walking out the sales gallery 7 years ago. Like, the attention to details is really something needs to be celebrated. The architectural treatments, but how I wish those are actually placed into the car park strategy. And for all the initial investors who bought, I think they are making money. And looking at the facilities, a lot of groundbreaking first move kind of initiatives, like the boxing ring, the very heavy architectural approach to the spaces. I'm a huge fan of those approaches, and I'm glad that this works out, but in a student accommodation kind of thing, not an own stay kind of format. So it means that the demand for space around the location has way more weightage than the architectural sense of it lah. Hi. I guess that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you really like this episode, like it, share it, even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.